Welcome to another episode of the Blackout Tips podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host,
Karen.
and we're live on a Monday night, a MLK Monday night. All right, the NBA has been playing games since noon.
Yes, they have.
Why is it not an annual Atlanta versus Memphis game on the schedule? I don't know. Maybe no one's run that up the flagpole, but feels like that should be a staple. But we're civic minded. We have a civic minded guest here, guys. Okay, we have a man who is the embodiment of MLK's dream. That's right, stand up comedian, actor of stage and screen, podcast host, and also now a candidate for Congress is JL Cauvin. What's up, man?
Thank you, everybody. I approve this message.
How's it been out here in these running for office streets, man?
I know you've been busy.
It has been the craziest experience, I think, of my life, because I haven't left my day job. I didn't ask for a leave of absence. So I'm basically just working 18, 17 hours a day. And I'm good. I hate to say this, but this is family. I'm good at it. The learning curve has been so steep for me. And we had an event with, the reason I'm running basically is just, you guys know I care, I follow politics. I do politics till I get mad because I want to be mad. So I just stay in the madness. And I ran because I thought I had a set of skills that made me a good candidate in 2026. Like a legit resume, like experience as a lawyer. I'm working in the affordability space. It's almost too on point because I'm working in eviction prevention, which is the most stressful job I've ever had in my life, because every day is like the fourth quarter. There's no just all right, what's going on today? Oh, somebody else getting possibly removed from their home. There's no oh, okay, today's just one of those chill evictions. And then the comedy background and kind of pivoting into the kind of mostly political comedy space, not entirely. I see the field, and I know it's tough because there's so little time. This was such a rushed process, but it's I'm making the case, and it's fascinating to see people who didn't know me, an hour ago, all of a sudden going huh. Now I have to consider this person that I didn't know, other than there's a comedian running. Now I have to seriously consider this person. And people have come up to me at events and said things like, this is the best compliment, and also the problem I'm dealing with, which is, if this were a 6-month race, I think you could do it. And then I say to people, I'm like, well, it's 2 months, and that's up to you now. It's up to you. If you see that, and there's an element of people worried about wasting their vote, obviously.
Right.
And I get that. I'm a practical voter, but I also believe, the primary it's not a time to waste your vote, but it's a time to take chances with your vote.
Yes.
If you feel a gut feeling for somebody and they've shown you enough, and that's what I try to show people in these, whether it's, the longer the meet and greet, the better I do. The longer the event, the more people I kind of win over. But it's the opposite of comedy. The longer I talk, the fewer fans show up and fewer clubs book me. But it's I see it working, and it's literally one of those things where this could be one of those, he won rounds 10, 11, and 12, but he lost rounds 1 through 9. So had it been a 15-round fight, he would have knocked him out. But there is such a need right now. And I always say this to people, I go, I'm not the one, but I could be one of the people who help the Democratic Party. I'm running into that. God, if Jon Stewart would run, well, Jon Stewart isn't running. And I went to
Right.
law school also. I've been and the idea of like having 20 years as a comedian, like it doesn't
Mhm.
work against Jon Stewart.
Right.
like
Yeah.
like he reaches the level of like, oh yeah, he's a comedian, but you know, he's like a super famous comedian.
Right.
That means he's better at being a politician.
Right.
You
Because I
have been
think
a
you were
lawyer and a comic, and that's not as good as being Jon
It's
Stewart.
weird. I saw today before we hit the air that people were circulating a clip on social of
Mhm.
someone asked Jon Stewart about running for president. He spent 2 minutes dodging the question, which typically means that person's thinking about running for president. And part of me was like, I, ultimately, if that were to come to pass, that means we've lost something.
yes, we
Like
have.
because he was a principled man who was like, I won't do that ever. I think you guys should find serious politicians who can do this. But I was thinking about it in relation to you as well. Like, I think it's an admission that we've lost something, but it's not coming back. So like the
not.
idea of chasing that norm, that standard of like only a career politician will ever be able to, it may be time to pick up the arms, you know, on the other side of the race and be like, man, we got some popular, reasoned, thoughtful people that also would take the job seriously and could do it. If we're on the other side watching celebrities run for offices they shouldn't hold, you know, like every week I feel like I see another Republican celebrity floating like, oh, Dr. Oz, Dr. Phil, Kid Rock or whatever. And I'm like, okay, but you look up and some of these people are either winning or having competitive races. Maybe we got to stop pining for the old days and look for something new. I'm not saying Jon Stewart would match all my politics to be, but if he's the guy that can bridge the
Right.
gap and get some of these people off their asses, then we love to see it. So like being an orthodox candidate, is that a question you're getting a lot? Like, why should I vote for a comedian or whatever?
It is, and then there is that element of lowered expectations a little bit, where then it's, oh man, he's like thoughtful and has this like strong.
Mm.
Right.
I said, if I told you that I went to Williams College, Georgetown Law School, and I work as a tenants' rights lawyer in a time when affordability and housing are like crucial issues, wouldn't you just say, well, that dude, I don't know if I'll vote for him, but he clearly should be in the race. He's clearly a
Right.
serious person with some credentials and some of the moment qualities. And then I say, and what if that person also had a following on social media over 300,000 and was a skilled mocker of Donald Trump and would be an asset in the communications game that the Democrats are losing? That's the pitch I basically make to people. And I know I see some people go, absolutely. Other people go, we need somebody like you in this race. I go, I'm in this race.
I'm somebody like me.
I'm better than like me. I'm me.
I'm describing myself, and it's something about like if you was to say that without the comedy, people would take you up. Not trying to funny, more people would be like, "Oh, this is a serious candidate," because a lot of politicians have like work in some form of a field like that. And it's one of those things where once you quote unquote put comedy on it, for some reason people's brain glitches.
Right.
Where they be like, you can't laugh in politics. Like, you actually can.
I mean, they like it when they get it, man. People, America, entertainment's like a big part of our economy and
It is.
and what we worship here. And it's when you look back and see like Reagan was an actor and stuff, like we've
Arnold
always kind
Schwarzenegger.
we've always kind of flirted with that idea. So I mean, I think you'd like to see it work for more than just conservatives. I know we
Agreed.
had was it like Al Michael? No, not Al Michael.
Al Franken.
Al Franken was for a while. So I mean, I think I just think it's nothing but good things to come of it. Knowing
It's a skill.
JL.
Like that's what I try to tell people is that it's a skill. I used this the first event we ever had. I said, the guy sitting next to me was a former Army paratrooper. And I said, the reason he mentions that is not because he's going to jump out of an airplane and land in the Capitol to make a vote. He's doing it to say, I've got courage. I've got leadership skills. I've got teamwork skills. I'm patriotic. Like he's saying that's representative of who he is and why you can trust him. I'm not telling you I'm a comedian so that you'll laugh. I'm telling you, look where we keep losing. And the biggest, and this, you'll like this, both of you will like this, because the thing I keep saying that resonates, especially when you're talking about these like hardcore primary voters who are like going to the meetings and going to the events.
Right.
I said, the two things I said to them was, you guys are very focused and that's great. You need a candidate who will win the people out there who aren't as focused. And I said
Yes.
the other line I tell people a lot is I'm the only guy who brings up Joe Biden. Now, no, people aren't trashing him. A few people say the Democrats failed us and we need new Democrats. And I go, what Joe Biden did is what we always do as a party. We had Obamacare, we ran from it, we waited 10 years, and then when everybody realized they liked it, we defended it. But we lost in the meantime. Joe Biden had an incredibly consequential, strong first term. I saw the debate. I'm not blind, but we never even gave that man a victory lap for some big victories. And I
Agreed.
said, I'm the guy who will call MAGA to task like nobody else and get out of here with George Conway running for as a Democrat in Congress. That offends me when he's like, I get Trump better than anybody, and now I'm a Democrat. And I'm like, I never helped him get in office. Can that be
Right.
Can that
Right.
be in my favor? But I say to people, I say, I will be the one who can hold the other side accountable because I got no dog in their fight. I don't need to be their friend. I don't need to be, if they want to work with me, I'll work with them on
Right.
something good, but I don't need, these are not going to be my friends. I remember what they did.
Right.
And I will always remember. I don't know them from 2009 where I got to be like, hey, we're done with that Trump shit, right? Okay, good. We can be
Right.
friends again. I don't know these people. So I can hold them to task with both the skill and the I don't know these people energy
Yeah.
that
I
a
don't
lot
know
of
her.
Democrats can't. Right.
Right.
But then I believe in the Democratic Party. And I want to make the case. I'm not saying everybody has to agree with me, but I want to be able to make the case when we do something big that we don't squander it. And that's where the communication and the engagement comes from, where I'm not going to be like, guys, biggest climate bill ever. It'll take some time. I know we're hurting. And biggest climate bill ever.
Yeah,
Right.
say it with
Where
your
are you,
chest.
Greta Thunberg? Get on this stage with me.
Yeah,
That's
and I
that's what I want to
100%
do.
agree with you, JL. It's one of those things that really, really frustrates me because they do a lot of things. And people don't realize how much shit they do until they start taking the shit away. Oh, they did that. They did that. Oh, I get a tax credit for this. Oh, my kids get assistance for this. Like, yeah, it's been there the whole time. And like you said, because they went in so it's like we accomplished something, and instead of beating the drums and be like the Republicans want to take this away from you, like you say, it's that soft, kind, gentle thing. No, you accomplished something great. Be proud and loud because they are all the time. They pass all types of fucked up bills and will come and look you in your face and be like, "Yeah, bitch, you about to lose your health care. Fuck you," and go on about
Yeah.
that way. Why
Change-
can't we do the same thing?
Elon Musk had that chainsaw on stage. I'll never forget that, man. I think also there's like this thing where Democrats will often run on this idea of like power is almost bad, like having it, but it's like once you have it, we want you to do the things you promised to do, right?
Agreed.
And I remember when Obama won in 2008 and he essentially had like this majority and I remember being like excited, like, okay, we're gonna finally get some things. And of course, that's when Republicans became the most obstructionist ever. But still, he did exhaust that goodwill on good things. Like you don't get universal health care without him pushing that shit through. But I remember the 2010, the off-cycle election after that, so many Democrats ran away from Obama because it was like,
Right.
oh, he's not as popular as he once was. Oh man, he's not getting everything passed. Exactly. And what I thought was interesting about that time was they would be like, he's unpopular, but he was still at that time the most popular politician in America. So like they were saying like, oh, his popularity went from say 60% approval to 55 or 45 or something. And then they're like, well, I can't be hugging him, when I'm running for office. Ma'am, your shit is like 25%. Like Congress is below his. And so there is like this sort of pride that isn't there as you're making the changes. You shouldn't have to go out and feel ashamed that you passed Obamacare. You should be going out like, yeah, we did that. We get even more if we got more people like me up there. Let's go. Let's run it back. And so I think one thing that we all on this side of the aisle, I think can agree on, it might be the only thing we can all agree on, is we want fighters.
Yeah.
We want people that are going to go up there and proudly fight for the
and you're fighting for people. Like
right.
Trump fights for himself. That's what's so fucked up about and I'll admit, I still think that was a good ad. Vicious, gross, hateful. I still do believe for this country, Kamala's for they, them, Trump is for you. The only problem with it is the thing is a complete fucking lie. Yes. Like rhetorically, it works as a clever turn of phrase, but it's a complete lie. And when you watch this dude, this guy is pissing. He is for him. It couldn't be more obvious. And Democrats are fighting for people. Now, not to go into my whole platform, but I also think that's why we need term limits, ban stock trading, a variety of things that will say, oh no, we are the party of you, not us. We will make a government that you can believe in. And then we seize that sort of like, let's bring people back who think all politicians suck. And maybe we can bring some of them back. But I will say this just on defending Democrats. And it doesn't mean this isn't like I'll defend the Democrats no matter what.
Yeah.
When we do good
it's not a sport. It's not a sports team.
Right. But what I will say is it is like jokes where I've had times where I had a good joke. For whatever reason, I didn't believe in it. And that good joke will die if you don't believe in it. Like that is a fact. I have told jokes and been like, why didn't that used to work? Or that it's because the crowd smells like a weakness, like a non-belief. It's like, why should I believe in your joke if you don't? And when it comes to politics, Democrats are like that. It's like, I know this is good policy, but why? Oh, they don't like it? Okay. Well, instead of telling them why, instead of convincing them, not telling them why they should, but instead of making the case in a way they can appreciate and understand, we just kind of go, it's not perfect. Like Democrats start every goddamn sentence with, it's not perfect. And Trump starts every sentence, every time he takes a shit, he goes, it's the greatest shit ever. And that's the difference.
Yes, that's so true. Now because there's so many rules and deadlines and all this stuff, I'm sure you're learning as you're finding out, and you're also going through them. And this is like an expedited situation that you're running in. What is next for you on the road to election day?
So my second digital ad went up today, and then everybody's getting mail that's going to be, I'm not going to lie, that will be a surreal experience, opening my mailbox and being like a comedian for Congress.
Right. Yeah. A stand-up guy and a stand-up comedian. It's going to stand up for you.
But it is basically, we have 17 days. We have a lot of events. There's just a lot of different organizations, some like individual meet and greet type stuff. But the mail, the digital ad, and then there's just people spreading the word. It's this short time frame was intended to benefit, a couple of established candidates. And I'm not, me, I'm not the establishment. No, not the establishment. Hey, if the establishment is great, then okay, establishment candidate, you get it. But the two biggest candidates in this, one is kind of a machine guy, like a local machine guy, like just and he seems like when I talk to him, he seems like a nice guy. He does have a lot of experience in like the political world. But what I've told people is not every songwriter is a singer. Like, and songwriting is a skill and a talent. But not every songwriter can get the microphone and sing. And I think a congressman can be both. You want both. You want a singer-songwriter. I know how it works. I know how to do it, but I can also convince people. But Democrats' deficit right now is not enough singers.
Right.
We have sad half-measure songwriters who might be very good at their job, but we're not selling it. We're not delivering a hit because your vocalist sucks. And
Yes.
there's another guy, the guy who seems to be leading the case. He used to be a congressman in a different district. He's a very sharp guy, very smooth. He is what I would call a very good politician. My issues with him, and a lot of the issues, is he doesn't live in the district. He lost an election in a nearby district and has basically just come here because it's a safer district. When you're telling me you're going to fight Donald Trump and you're not ripping your seat back from a Republican that's winnable, you know, rhetorically, that there's a little disconnect there.
Right.
And he had a stock trading investigation the last time he was in Congress. And I'm telling you, this will sound like BS, where I'm like, when I talk to voters, but when I talk to people, and I'm not talking about the people in meetings that are like, I know every issue as well as, you know, Nancy Pelosi.
Right.
I'm talking about just random people on the street who are like, oh, cool. Yeah, I'll sign your petition. Let me ask you a question. What's your view on stock trading? And I go, ban it. That's an issue of fairness that, if we're trying to win the 300 people in the group, the town county Democrat Association, they may not give a shit. Right. People out there, when we're trying to rebrand the Democratic Party as the party of people, as the party of fairness, if we send out people who have had these kind of investigations, I genuinely think it's like, it may not cost us anything, but can it hurt to have some kind of more pure candidates out there? Because like I said, this dude is sharp. You can do a lot worse than this dude intellectually and experience-wise. But the case I'm making is, you want somebody who fights? If I lived in that district, I'd be running in that district. Not just because, it's a tougher district, so be it. That's where I live. And the other thing is, random people give a shit about these like good government issues. They care. They don't know a lot. They don't know a lot of civics, but they know fairness. And, you know, Republicans, you don't think they'll exploit that? Because he'll be going in there when they still have power. You know what I mean? Like, they'll still have the power to be like, oh, the new Congress, well, let's resume that investigation that was going on when you got, you know, bounced from office last time. You don't think they'll do that? You don't think when they're trying to win midterms that they're not going to say, look at corrupt New Jersey sending back stock trading Tom.
Yeah, absolutely. I think also is people say they want something different, but when it's theory, it's just easier for folks than when it's in their face.
Rod, the people in some of these towns, they want you in North Carolina to send somebody different. Here, they're like, we need a new bold voice. We need a fighter. We need somebody who can take on Trump. Reporting for duty. Not here, though. No.
No. They don't take no chances. Like, that's
go somewhere else.
Like, I was talking with.
It's like NIMBY. It's like NIMBY, but for fighter. Like, not here. Yeah. Like, we'll play it safe. But if you could take a risk with your seat, that would be great.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I think I was talking on 3 Guys On about that situation where, I guess some of the Democrats, a memo went out to be like, hey, let's not say abolish ICE. Let's say retrain or something like that was the new like switch pivot from some think tank or whatever.
Like, and recently,
recent, like this weekend even. Yeah, and a couple of people already took I think Cory Booker did a whole thing about it, and the Randolph, of course. And he's like, abolish those motherfuckers. I totally get it. I don't think he's wrong there. And then Andy, of course,
water, no ice. That's Randolph.
Randolph. Listen, okay. What can you do for the revolution? Nothing. But he, but I think obviously he makes good points about. I don't think that's even a winning strategy or slogan right now to tell people like we can rein them in. Is at this moment it could be the truth, but that's not what's going to win hearts and minds when people are seeing what they're seeing, right? And I was saying, you know what it is? It kind of reminds me a little bit of how a lot of Democrats had to be afraid of abolish the police, is because a lot of voters say they're for that until you bring it directly to their district. Like, so we're going to defund and abolish these people. And you're like, hey,
crimes happen. What's going to happen?
That was cool. That was cool on Twitter.
Right.
But like now that I'm thinking about my house.
Right. So
I do think that happens even when it comes to mixing it up with candidates. But how how
I
do
try to
you
give them permission? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
I was gonna say, how do you navigate that space in between being critical of your opponents, being critical of the party, but also I want to be in this party and I want to like put my own ownership and stamp on it and be a voice for you as the little guy. How do you balance that between, you know, being critical and then like maybe burning bridges where it's like, you know, oh, he went too far. That no one's gonna mess with this guy next time.
I think I've been good at not burning bridges, though I'm not against it. Obviously, I just don't. I don't think it plays. It has no political value right now to just completely torch someone. But what I do say is a line that sort of I stumbled on like a month ago, maybe a month, like 5 weeks ago, but it stuck. I said we've got a lot of candidates who would be great in 1996 or 2006. It's 2026. We need somebody for now who can communicate for now, who appreciates now. And I think what I try to sell to people is I'm a lifelong Democrat. I defend, you know, I spend a little time defending Democrats so that they know, like, this is my party. I'm proud to be like this whole like punching bag for like disillusioned people because
Yeah.
it's more like it's no fun in their crew to dump on MAGA. Like you don't get extra points for pointing out the devil is bad. So it's like, but these guys, man, they like, and I defend it without defending like when we're wrong, but I say we've fallen victim to some of the complaints that aren't accurate. We've allowed Republicans to frame this, and we've allowed sort of cynical people to piggyback on that so that we're always in a state of like apologizing for being the party that cares about people because sometimes we didn't care in the right way or we didn't do this, we didn't go far enough, or we were wrong. God forbid we were wrong on something. And then it's like, well, the Democrats are done. And so I balance it by kind of being the only person who affirmatively just says, we've done great things. Like the last 100 years is a legacy of Democrats with Democrat presidents with large Democratic majorities doing great things for people. That's the Democratic Party legacy. The big story you'll tell about the Democrats. The big story for Republicans is they hate government. They've elected 3 of the weakest qualified people in my lifetime. You know, and at least Reagan and Bush I shouldn't say qualified. They were both governors. They both were in politics. They both knew how to run things. They were both bad presidents. And then we got Trump, who's so much worse. And we've allowed them to just be in control of the narrative. And I'm rambling, I apologize, but basically I just tell people, you know, the way I go about making the case of we need a better communicator. I'll point out a few things that I think we should be doing that we're not doing, but that at the end of the day, I'm a diehard Democrat who thinks I can deliver and engage more people than the people on this stage.
So you just not going out there roasting the other people like this motherfucker right here is a criminal. Okay, like you're not taking it all the way to the community level yet.
You're not doing any crowd work yet.
I'm ready. I'm sort of ready to do that. But some of the events we have, it'll be like there's a big LGBTQ event like in a week, and that will be a weird one if I'm like, and this guy is a piece of shit, but here's how I will help your community in 5 minutes. But the argument I make to some of the like groups that I'm not a member of is like, who's going to be your most effective voice? Like there's people come up and it's always like, I told people during the thing, I said, my father is Haitian. My father was Haitian. He was a green card holder, never a citizen. You don't think that it feels a little extra sting when I see Trump's like racism and xenophobia being laser focused on the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere? Like, but I'm not going to spend 5 minutes giving you like, this is why that you do the math. And I've said this to people. I said, I have to tell you, but if you wonder who's taking this most personally, if that's something you're concerned about, because everybody's like, my 5th cousin's college roommate was bisexual, so the LGBTQ community is near and dear to my heart. It's like, stop. But I tell them just to say, I don't need to lament this. You do the math. My father was an immigrant to this country from Haiti. Never became a citizen, was a green card holder. You don't think I care about how vulnerable my father would have been under Trump? How he would have just picked on him for no fucking reason? But I'm not going to waste all my like. Now you know that about me. I don't need to go into a dramatization. And I think some people probably appreciate that I'm still getting back to.
I'm sure they do. I think also we're so used to politicians speak at this point.
Yeah,
You ask somebody something immediately, I'm a son of a sharecropper or whatever.
Yeah, because that's kind of how
think people appreciate being talked to real.
They've been taught and they've been trained. And I want to go back to what JL was saying. I agree with you when you talk about a lot of the Democratic side who just complain. And the thing that's really scary about them, a lot of their lies start from Republicans and they roll on that. Like I have a major issue when something breaks on the Republican side and people haven't done their research and they haven't found out anything. The next thing you know is rumblings on our side. And also I think that if Democrats were much louder, the people that would constantly complain about how they did nothing, you would have more people more educated to fight against that. Because I think a lot of people don't fight against that because they're not actually looking for it. And the Democrats aren't beating their chest and putting it on posters and putting it on billboards and running commercials and buying TikTok ads, talking about the shit they done. So it makes those people sound more intelligent than they are when they consistently complain about how nothing's been done. It's like, no, it's a lot of shit that's been done. And then people who actually don't really know, but know the Democrats have done something, like they're in the loop, but they might not be 100% in the loop because they got a second job or whatever the case may be. They would, in my opinion, they would have more ammunition to fight against these people. And those people won't be surprised when shit just gets slice, cut, because they didn't even know it existed.
JL, what is the plan if you win or lose? Like, is there
great question.
Is there a next step after, like, okay, I got my team together, do we about to boot, I gotta hire people, I gotta find volunteers? Is there if you lose, is there like, okay, here's the next step for the next time an office opens up, or I need to get down with some of these local organizations I've been meeting with and start putting in some groundwork? Like, what is the next step if you're even thinking about that?
Yes. If I win, I will go, huh? And I say that, like, I am telling you, like I said, there's 17 days left. And I swear it's literally, it is not, this is like comedy. And I know we've talked about this off mic, and you've talked about me on mic when I wasn't even here about how it's perfect for me, because
I feel like you went from, hey man, you a comedian, tell me a joke, to, oh man, you a politician, tell me a policy. I feel like it's you.
But my favorite is when, like, this guy was harassing me for answers on Israel, and he lives in California. And I was like, sir, I don't know if you know how this works, but you are going to be the last person. You're harassing me and you can't vote for me. This is not how this works.
Right.
And then I gave him my answer because I was like, you know what? I've already said this at some forums, but the plan, if I win, in all seriousness, it will be national news. But I like comedy. I no longer harbor any doubts about my skill set in this realm.
Right.
Like, that's the thing. When I ask people for money, when I ask people to come to events, and when I start asking people, like, take this to your friends, show this to your friend, like, it's because I believe in it, not just believe in the righteousness of why I'm doing it, but like, no, you can cast your vote for me with confidence. You might not, but I have to believe that. And I do. Right. And so if I were to win, it would be, some of these organizations have dinged me, when they're evaluating candidates, or like, his fundraising apparatus is not even about money, about like, oh, he doesn't have a network of big donors. And I go, guess what? If I pull off the upset of the century in New Jersey politics, the donors will show up that morning.
Right.
Why are you acting like oh no,
Right.
jail's only raised $85 since pulling off this monumental upset for Congress.
Right.
What
Right.
are you talking about? But they ding you because it's like money is like it's like a it's a dick measuring contest. It's like,
Right.
ooh, you have millionaire donors backing you. Oh, you have a
But you know what?
network
We've
of
seen a lot of
donations.
people get a lot of money and they still lose. So money does not, when it comes to people voting, that's what matters.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think also it's interesting too because it'll, especially people that are hardcore into these type of politics, these primaries, they're like, oh, I'm tired of the big money. I'm tired of the establishment. I'm tired of, all the people that are in the think tanks and the elites buying our politicians. And then when you go, okay, well, this guy, he's basically $5 donations from people up the street. And it's like, whoa, how's he going to win? That's
He's
crazy.
not ready. He's not ready. He just has voters.
You can't have it
Um,
both ways.
So, and I'm like, I've been the generosity has been very strong. I don't know where I'll end up. I'm sure some of these people definitely like donated like their own fortune to their donations because you're like, how did you start the campaign with like 300 grand on day one?
Right. Yeah.
But so that if I win, I'm like then it's the primary and then it's the general election. So it's 2 months
Okay.
where everybody will pretend to coalesce around me, and then at least two of the candidates would probably plan on challenging me in November for the full term reelection.
Okay.
And that would be funny because I'd say, "Oh wow, I beat you, and now you're coming back. Great,
Right. You're still here.
right?" Where it's like, "I thought you said you were going to back whoever won." Oh, because it's me. You are going back on your word. If I lose, which is sadly more likely than winning. I have been very inspired by all these like groups and just personally, forget political career, but I would want to get more involved because I think of myself as an involved, informed citizen, which I am.
Right.
And then you see these people who spend like some of it's a hobby. They're
Right.
not all old people, but it skews older.
Right.
But it's like you can have a lot worse hobbies than being invested in your country and your party
Right.
and trying to inform
Good
people
hobby
and
to
do
have.
good things for your community. That's a great hobby. That's a great way to spend your free time.
I wish more people would.
Yeah. So I could see just personally getting more involved in stuff like that, just as hey, I'm in this community. I like what you guys do. I like what you're about. But I've been told by some people, I've obviously turned some heads in this because I am a one of one in this race and not in a bad way.
Wow.
And there are those people that it's almost like we want to know you more, but we like what you're doing and we like what you're bringing to the table. So does that mean a more local office could be guided to me? I live in sort of a district that's notoriously like machine politics. So it's like, go introduce yourself. That rubs me. My comedy career could have probably been more successful, or definitely would have been more successful if I was into that. Hey, okay, oh great, yeah, like that's awesome. Yeah, no, oh, I'll come to your. Can I come to your show? Oh man, you were so great. Oh, do you need an opener? Do you need somebody to open? Yeah, like, yeah. No, that guy sucks. Yeah, like I'm with you. He sucks. That's what I'm trying not to do with my life.
Well, as long as you don't do an impression of whoever the most powerful politician is currently in your district, you should be okay.
I mean, you might be okay.
Is there Louis C.K. style politicians out there
that
might be a little pettier than we thought?
Right. So yeah, so that's but it's so difficult for me to just go, yeah, because I think that I don't bullshit. I'm very self-deprecating when I think something is not going well, but I see it. I see what's going on, and I'm like, people, you wake up. Like this is your chance to throw somebody in the mix that will do what you say you want. Like, and I'm beholden to nobody except my voters. That sounds Trumpian. My constituents, even if you didn't vote for me, obviously. I will only support the 1,200 people who voted for me. Everybody else can go to hell. Thank you.
How many people are in the district that you're running for?
It's a lot. I mean, like the sad thing is they think that this will be, because it's a special election primary being held not on a Tuesday, but on a Thursday, which is just another one of those, like, you don't want
They want the
people to tune out.
hardcore of hardcore
Right.
voters.
They
yeah.
want them people that's in the no.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. And that's what I try to, when I speak to people, I go, keep in mind that your endorsement or your literature has an effect now on people who aren't paying attention as much.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And
vote count more.
And I just think, I'm sorry, it's just one of those things where I look at the field and I see how people respond to me, and you just go, God, I need people to take a chance. But then I spend most of my time telling them, here's why it's not as big a chance as you think.
Right.
I'm a lawyer. I work
Right.
in this space. I went to good schools. I'm like,
Right.
you have to look at the comedy stuff as a plus, not as who I am, but like I bring something to the table. And I just see people going like, yes, but and I'm trying to get them over that. And when the mail goes out, like my mail, when we had a decision to make, and I said to my campaign manager, I said, I'll put myself in some debt because I can't ask people to donate to my campaign if I'm not, like, the minute I don't believe in what I'm doing, I step out and I tell people don't donate. But I see it and I go, God, I know I'm being hopeful like I am with comedy, but I'm like, but I know that what I'm doing is good and resonating with people. So we had a choice, a smaller male universe, which was like the hardcore voters, the ones are showing up. Let's reach them. And I said, I got to go bigger because the part of my theory of my case and my candidacy is maybe some of those people who vote sometimes. These are not non-voters. These are like, I vote in presidential elections kind of voters. Now that's a bigger world. That group is a lot bigger and costs a lot more money than I vote every year, no matter what the fucking election is.
I'm there.
Right. And I said, I need to reach some of those. I vote in presidential elections because maybe they can be got with a comedian. Like if they just pause and go, a comedian's running for this. And then they see like the good governance issues and they see the eviction prevention issues. And maybe they go, and allow them to throw it out. Like everybody will throw it out. But I had to take a risk and get that bigger field because part of what I'm claiming I can do is get some people interested who only pay attention at like big elections. Well, maybe if they think a comedian who works for tenants is like a big enough reason for them to look me up or ask some questions. And maybe they go, I kind of like this guy.
Right.
So
are people still donating? Is there any more deadlines for donating? Any big?
Yes. No, people are still donating, and it's, I've given away that kind of story. Like I've already laid it out. So, my reason for asking for donations is, I'm supposed to say, so that we can continue to do this. Like we basically place the order. So if you donate, you're helping facilitate
payback.
Right. You're helping facilitate what I've already committed to, because I made a judgment that was our best strategy.
Where do they go to donate, and when do they need to do it by? I'm assuming ASAP, but are there also deadlines?
Yes. There is a reporting deadline on the 24th. That's when the next few days after that, it'll be like, Tom Malinowski raised $19 million in a month, and J.L. Covan is selling candy on the subway. I almost did a video to start the campaign where I was going to walk up and down a New Jersey Transit saying, I'm not selling candy for no basketball team. I'm trying to run for Congress, do something positive in my community.
But hilarious.
Get off the streets. Yeah.
He, sorry. So the 24th is the deadline in terms of not for the campaign, like February 5th is election day. So donations. And obviously if we had some big influx of donations, that means upping our digital strategy. You know what I mean? So there are things we can do, but right now it's really like helping us just meet what we've committed to. and because I do believe in that strategy. So you go to jlfornj.com. You know, if every Black Guy Who Tips listener gave $5 or $10, we'd be good.
All right.
But just then I have to say
jlfornj.com.
yes. And if you already know you want to donate to me, donate to jl.com. Takes you right to like the Act Blue page.
Okay.
But you know, every donor counts, every amount counts. And it's just, this is going to be like, I'm not going to wow people with my quantity of money, but I think I will outperform many people in terms of my total donors, which of course then points to like, hey, look, there's a little more support, a little
Real
more
people.
Right. And I think like no big donors, you know what I mean? Like so it's been I've been very proud and very honored by the people who have donated, because those are the people who either didn't know me before and really I've resonated with them, and that's validation for why I'm running and how I'm messaging, but also the people who've been comedy fans who weren't just talking that shit saying like, you could be good at this. Like they believed it and they backed it up with some support. And I'm trying to do it in as passionate and honorable a way as I can. And I am resonating with people, and people are taking notice.
Hey, JL, has anybody looked at you and said, you look tall, you seem intimidating, I'm going to vote for you because I know you'll stand up for people and demand things?
I haven't played that card. I think I'm so conscious of trying to seem friendly when people are like, you're much taller than I thought.
Are you getting recognized places? Like, I mean, you've been in the street shaking hands. Like, if you go to the deli, are people like, oh, that's the guy that, you know, is running for Congress, or is it still
the deacon at my church? The deacon at my church after mass was like, JL, I liked your ad. And I was like, nice. So they're reaching people. And I had a guy on the train, I feel like when I started running, who was like, JL. And he was like, I love your comedy. And how's the campaign going? So I was like, ooh, a double.
Damn. Okay. Okay.
But so far, it's like people will come up to me at events. It hasn't happened in the streets. I think sometimes you see somebody and I don't really know why they're looking, because it could be, I like your videos. It could be, I think that's the guy from the ad. But I do catch
like,
those.
Is he an ex-NFL NBA player?
Right, he's so tall.
Who is that guy?
Should I know him next time going down the NBA roster? Mind.
Doug Christie. But it's, I see like people have come up to me at events. Like it was like the last event, this big event for the League of Women Voters. It was nice because I had a lot of people come up to me who were unfamiliar and wanted to sign up and wanted literature and and that's always great. I had some comedy fans show up who are like, I've always liked your comedy, but I wanted to see what this is about. And then of course they realize you're a much more serious, substantive person. And then somebody just came up to me and was like, I love that you work in eviction prevention. And that's kind of housing is like a big issue for me. And I go, great. I'm glad you're here.
It is funny in my mind that if someone knew you're a comedian and it's like they approach you, they expect, if any part of them is kind of expecting like some comedy bullshit, you know, like it's like, oh yeah, so what's your policy on this? And they expect you to pull out prop comedy like
but I do joke with people, like, you know what I mean? When they come up, like they'll be like, what's the first thing you're doing when you get to Congress? And I was like, making sure they didn't make a mistake. Like you know, just because I'm relaxed with people. It's like a meet and greet after a show, except like it's more important. Like it's so you.
When you get up to speak, do you start with some crowd work? Are you starting with like, oh man, what do you do for a living? Oh, we got somebody from the teachers union. Oh, everyone's from the teachers union. That makes sense.
Well, what I have done, which I get a lot of laughs from people, but it's almost a tactic that Mike Kaplan used to use in like comedy contests. Like he would be like, I also am 6'7", and then it's like you just killed my whole fucking set, dude. Like, now people are like, yeah, that guy, whatever. Keep talking, Mike. So I will say to people, like, I'll piggyback off of something the other person just said. And like one event, this woman, she was like, I am a fighter and I will get shit done. And it was like, ooh. And I was the next one to speak. And I said, as a stand-up comic, I am appalled at that kind of language. She has never said it again. Now she laughed. She laughed because it was funny. Right. But she was also like, I can't with this guy lurking, I can't drop that kind of like powerful moment.
And it's not like the most destructive bridge burning thing. It's just kind of it's like a friendly ribbing, but yeah, I love it. I love it.
Like I had the lieutenant governor for One More Day, Tahisha Way. She was speaking before me, and she's a very she's the wife of like a former New York Giants player. She's a very just elegant, well put together, attractive Black woman. Very like and even Laura was like, oh, she dresses so well. She's just got it. Like, it's just like the perfect, the outfit is just like like Black executive fan fiction. Like, that's just wonderful.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and she said at the end of her thing, she said, and it was a great honor to receive your award for League of Women, like office holder of the year or something. And then she was done. Her time was up. And I got on stage and I said, it was also an honor for me to be named tallest candidate in the field. Thank you. And it didn't rib her at all. It didn't do it, but it was just like, okay, everybody's laughing. Now let's get to it.
That's beautiful, man. That's so
it's like a reset. You know what I mean? I've reset the crowd for me.
The comedic skills are coming through. And of course, if this doesn't go the way you want and you run again, you can always just sell out then. You can NFTs. You can sell whatever you need to, JL AI cards, which you like made up as president, made up as a
beautiful meme coins. They call them meme coins. How about that? You ever heard of that? You ever heard of a meme coin? What a silly coin.
That would be low key, man. That'd be a great movie. There's a world where you don't win, but then you run again, but you just run as Trump. You are Trump, but just liberal Trump. Like, just you never break character, you never break the impression. They're just like, we need a liberal version of Trump. We always say that. Gavin Newsom's not a liberal version of Trump. This motherfucker right here is a literal liberal version of Trump.
I'll tell you something, you fat pig. If you don't give them more money for Medicare, I will bomb your country. I will blow up your state if you don't start housing the homeless. Excuse me.
You got my vote.
If you don't get these weapons to Ukraine, I will personally go over to Russia and not going to be too nice to Putin. Let's just say that. I am bringing back Maduro to Venezuela. We're bringing him back very quickly because it's called rule of law. Pete Hegseth is in a 12-step program now. He is a nasty guy and a horrible drunk. And I will say this. The thing I've also tried to tell people is, if you like Gavin Newsom, if Gavin Newsom all of a sudden became your front runner for president because he's fighting fire with fire, I've been Gavin Newsom for a decade on that front. He is better looking.
And never had Jordan Peterson on your podcast. Like, just somehow have found a way to navigate this whole thing morally without having to give too much credit to Charlie Kirk. It's amazing that can even be done.
Thank you. And the George Conway thing, I don't know why I'm getting a lot of ads for him because I'm close enough to New York City. But
okay.
I never had like any big problem with him, but like when I'm watching, and I posted about this, like some of these outfits that I've tried to get on that follow me, that shared my stuff during the pandemic, that I was like, hey, I'm running for Congress. Hey, I saw you on this podcast, your big political podcast, say we need more normal talking Democrats who can fight. Hey, I know it's promotion, I know it's publicity, but hey, can you get me on the episode? You've name checked me on your show before. Can I come in? They ignore me. But like Midas Touch, this huge resistance network, they had to cut ties with Michael Cohen. Mm-hmm. Why did you have ties with Michael Cohen? I can't get a reply. I can't get a reply to an email. but this combination of like generic resistance plus clickbait leads to this kind of industry that shuts out people like me, where I would be the sensible choice to come on your show, but you're trying for maximum clicks with maximum generic resistance talk. And George Conway, to me, I'm sorry. If I'm complaining about Tom Malinowski in my district having some stock trading issues and some carpetbagging issues, I'm sorry. You helped get Trump elected.
Yes.
Maybe you do some penance for that. Maybe you don't just try to piggyback off of that. Like, now I'm part of the resistance. Well, thank you for your service. We're going to elect a Democrat. And then I'm sitting here going like, but please take me seriously. All I've done is the same stuff, but better than them, without ever having sat down with Charlie Kirk or Steve Bannon or gotten Trump elected.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, you think those would be low bars to qualify?
Getting dinged. I feel like getting dinged for like the content creator entertainer thing when it doesn't ding people who've actually done damage to our democracy. If you've turned I welcome you if you've changed your ways, and you have, especially George Conway clearly has.
Right.
But I like this idea of like, I'm sort of like having to be like, guys, please take me seriously, even though you like what I do when it comes from other people, but I have to convince you that I'm not good at this.
Well, I feel like we've already been doing this segment, but let's do a little bit of politics till we get mad.
I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black.
People have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got.
There's an old saying in Tennessee. I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, but it says, "Fool me once, shame on you, shame on you. Fool me, we can't get fooled again."
Tell you what, I don't know about you, but I'm going to go to bed. It's like I'm going to go to bed.
Bill Maher claims he's never won an Emmy because woke town Hollywood hates him for speaking freely. He lost out at a Golden Globe this week to Ricky Gervais.
Notoriously woke Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, I was
Get out of here. Come on, Bill. Take the L there, man.
Right.
I'm not even rooting for him, but it's like...
Yeah, Wanda Sykes had a great joke where she was just like, we like less from you, just less. And
Bill
then
Maher
they
gives
cut
us so much. She said, Bill Maher, you give us so much. Give us less.
Yes. And they cut the bill, but his face was so like, I'm not with the joke. And it's so like, oh man. Look, maybe it's just you get famous, you get rich, you get comfortable, your crew is yes men at some point, but nobody is like, hey man, you should at least look like you know how to take a joke about yourself. If your whole thing is gonna be self-righteousness about how liberal people don't take any jokes and they won't laugh at anything, you should
Wanda could have gone much harder too. That's the thing. That is like a good, like, hey, I'm a comedian, I'm just mocking my fellow comedians, like just very standard level roasting.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, he blamed woke Hollywood on his podcast. He was talking with
Stephen A. Smith. I'm sorry, I can't let. He wants Stephen A. He's advocated for John Fetterman and Stephen A. Smith to run for president. Get out of here.
Yeah, right.
I can't take you seriously.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's not even my fault. That's your fault for saying something crazy. But yeah, he talked to Joel Edgerton about it on his podcast and said he didn't think he would win. Sweetheart, I've been nominated for 33 Emmys. They would never give it to me. That's not a gag number. That's a real number. It's crazy. I also love the entitlement of I've been nominated for 33 Emmys. That's a given. Okay, obviously I'm 33 Emmys worth of talent over here, but I've never won one. They hate me. They keep nominating me, but they nominate me out of hate.
Yeah.
He said Edgerton said it's enough to get the nomination. There's something you said, and then Maher said, because I speak freely and this woke town fucking hates that, and that's okay. I've made my peace with that. He said he'd be shocked if he got any awards at the time. And he also said, there's some people pissed off that a queer black woman is up here doing the. Oh, this is the quote from Wanda Sykes in the joke. Yeah, there's. She said, Bill Maher, you give us so much, but I would love a little less. Just try less. His face was not
That's
with it.
But
hilarious.
that's such a good jab. Like it's
Right?
a jab. She knows the like I'm not here to make enemies. Like
Right.
Mm.
And she's gone on this show before, and they've,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, it's just weird that anyway, he's gone into a weird area. Don Lemon responds to Trump's DOJ's threat, stands by coverage of anti-ICE protests at Minnesota church. So Trump's DOJ threatened to investigate Don Lemon, trying to say he incited like some sort of riot. He said, it's noted I've been cast as the face of a protest I was covering as a journalist, especially since I wasn't the only reporter there. That framing is telling. He told Fox News Digital in a statement, what's even more telling is the barrage of violent threats along with homophobic and racist slurs directed at me online by MAGA supporters and amplified by parts of the right-wing press. If this much time and energy is going to be spent manufacturing outrage, it would be far better used investigating the tragic death of Renee Nicole Good, the very issue that brought people into the streets in the first place. I stand by my reporting. And he went viral Sunday for his reporting on the chaos that unfolded at City's church, telling viewers that the freedom to protest is what the First Amendment is all about.
Right.
However, Harmeet Dhillon, or Dhillon, the Justice Department's Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights, suggested that Lemon's participation was illegal. So, like, they're literally trying to turn First Amendment rights, the press, obviously, into crimes if you don't agree with them. If you're not letting Barry Weiss edit your content, you might as well stop posting it because we're ready to put people in jail. I think this is just so serious, and you know and I appreciate Don Lemon standing up, you know, obviously, but it's so serious, and I don't think we're seeing enough of the other press treat these infractions with the alarm that it should have. Even the Washington Post, who just had a journalist have their stuff taken, their stuff that contains confidential sources. Yeah, and like they literally took that person's like laptops and computers. So if they crack that stuff, they know who's been their sources, possibly who's been telling them whistleblowing things that the Trump administration is doing.
And there's literally a law against it. Like, it's not just like he's pushing like the boundaries. There's like a law against what they're doing.
Right.
And this is something, and this has been a problem that I've had with the media for a while. And I will continue to say this. When Biden was in office, y'all was on his ass for every motherfucking thing. And Trump was out here acting the fool. And y'all didn't report it the same. And when people go, y'all are not reporting this with the same urgency, you were called, you were saying, you know, you didn't understand, or you're being biased. Like, no, I understand, and I see these things. So when you were a free press, not oppressed, you could just report whatever you want to report. The shit that you should have been blowing a whistle for, you didn't blow. Now the regime has changed. Now you're scared. Now you're fearful. Now, you know, they are doing the things that y'all claimed that Biden was doing. Like they're literally
It's
doing
interesting.
the things.
I remember controversies like Obama's not answering enough Fox News questions. We other, like CNN and MSN, we are standing up for Fox News to make sure that they get fair, equal treatment. And that stuff is not reciprocated.
Nope.
When the AP is kicked out, you're not seeing all this like, well, we'll boycott the press conference, or we're gonna ask all the questions they would have asked, even though that's not what our publication normally does.
Right.
There's not that solidarity flowing both ways.
No,
and
it's
each time
not.
you see a breach or an encroachment on the rights of our press and of our civil rights, I feel like it's almost like a test case of just seeing like, okay, how's the reaction gonna be? Is anybody gonna, if Don Lemon gets perp walked, is anything gonna change?
That's why they chose Don Lemon, because just like when they went after John Bolton, who like had no home, to see if that, although his case seemed to have some substance to it, to be fair.
Yeah.
But Don Lemon is like he's not with CNN. We're not going after, he's former CNN. He's like independent now. So if we go after him, okay, we got away with it. And I do need to say that that was very poetry slam when Karen said, when you were a free press, not oppressed.
Oppressed. I heard it. I saw it. She didn't hold it. She didn't hold the E long enough. Yeah, so when you are when you were a free press, not oppressed, you know, you gotta really hit that last syllable.
Still freedoms, and the man wasn't out there holding you down.
Right. But yeah, it is. You know,
That's
I just
hilarious.
I think you're right. He's a man with kind of not much of a home, and I will say he was calling out Stephen A. Smith the other day, and I was on Twitter reading it, and I was like, this is one of the craziest comebacks of all time.
Yes, it is.
Don Lemon was on the Stephen A. Smith track so heavy when Twitter started. I remember I wrote a blog about it on our website.
He was wilding.
Because he had finally went what I thought was way too far. But he had done a thing where he said 5 things the black community needs to do, and it was stuff like cleaning up the streets, pulling up your pants, don't
That
use
was
the
years
N-word.
ago.
And this was what he was using his CNN platform for on the weekends, after we had all been so proud to see a black man finally make it to an anchor desk on CNN, and he immediately turned around and was like, just because you can have a baby doesn't mean you should. The lack of railroad models making you go express train to prison. I was like, whoa. And so then I made my 10 points, which I'll go over quickly. I won't go into detail, but we'll start with number. I said Don Lemon has 5 points, but I have 10 more. 1, go back to Africa. 2, no more Steve Harvey suits. 3, stop dancing so well. 4, no more jokes about white people in comedy. Okay, we don't need that white people do this shit. 5, no more entertainment that isn't 100% positive in every facet. We need edutainment, not entertainment.
No.
6, turn that fucking music down. That's one of my favorite ones. 7, stay off my grass.
Nah, I agree with stay off my grass now. Don't be fucking up my grass. It costs too much.
8, stop being so damn good at sports. It's very intimidating to the whites. Shout out to Utah. 9, no more black men in interracial porn. Yes, it was getting out of control.
So
it was very offensive.
So he's not a fan of black.com.
And number 10, which is the most important one, probably the hardest one to pull off as a people, but if we stick to it, we can do it. Stop not being white. Because if we were white, all this stuff would go away. Clearly, that is the superior culture that we should be imitating. So Don Lemon came from that in like 2013 to
It's been a while.
calling out Stephen A. Smith in 2026. So anything can happen, guys. So I appreciate Don for making the change, because it would have been too much to bear if it was him and Stephen A. over there.
Stephen A. Smith is like drifting. I mean, I will say this. I don't want to call him Whitlock 2.0, but he's almost worse in a way, because Whitlock is like just in his own little like outkick Republican token troll.
Right.
Whereas Stephen A. Smith is still this high-paid, high-profile, mainstream character. And whoever told him he should, like, the running for president thing got to his head, and he already was an egomaniac.
Yeah.
And it's like now he just, like, I forget, what did he say when it was like, I didn't want to run for president, but people have been, I have to consider it because of how people are talking. And
you know what's crazy is he'll say that, and it's an online poll where he got 2%, and he'll treat it like a mandate. And yet, I find some of the people
knew some of them boys are in trouble.
Yeah. And I find it so interesting because, by the same token, if you were to be like, well, Kamala Harris still polls as number 1 or 2 in almost every single one of these like presidential 2028 polls, it's like, well, she has no chance to drop out.
I don't care. I don't care.
Let me stop you right there. We don't care. But yeah, it's so interesting to see his foray into it, because I mean I can't take it seriously. I really I know this could be a mistake and I could be but I just can't take it serious because he's so unserious.
Right.
And it would say something about the Democratic voters if they let him be a serious person.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the one thing the Democratic Party does have left is like, well, the party and the voters are interested in some sort of real governance.
Yeah.
Stephen A. Smith is such a clown with his opinions and work on TV. Like it's a TV clown. Like it's what he does. He's great at clowning. But like to if anyone were to truly consider him president, I think you disqualify yourself as a serious person.
They can't take you seriously.
Yeah, like I now would I like to see a debate of Stephen A. Smith on stage, entertainment wise? Sure, make it an SNL sketch or something. But in real life, I don't think just saying your opponent's name incredulously counts as a actual like policy. And I think that's all he'd be able to do is just say people's names like, you know, JV Pritzker over and over, and we'd be like, that's not. You didn't say anything bad about him.
That's the thing with Trump, and I never defend Trump, obviously, but
Yeah.
at least his supporters early on, they were fed that he was a businessman.
Right.
Like, in other words, a bullshit businessman, but they were told, well, he's a businessman. Like, at least some of them voted on like, well, I hear he seems like a good businessman.
Yeah.
And you can obviously terrible human being, but Stephen A. Smith, you don't even have that. You're like, he yells. I
think what Stephen A. in Stephen A.'s mind, his thing is like, okay, I'm not as terrible a person as Trump. like in his mind, he's like, yeah, but I have 0 legal cases. It's like, yeah, you're still not a serious candidate. I think you should just step away from all of this. I do think a world where he does his Stephen A. Smith isms on a debate stage is entertaining for like 5 minutes before I get disgusted, turn the TV off, and then feel bad about myself for having laughed at him saying Kamala Harris 7 times in a row, incredulously.
I think what we need is something between Medicare for none and Medicare for all.
Yeah, I know about getting
50%.
I know about getting some money. It's like what does that have to do with anything?
Are you gonna hustle the country? What's happening?
He gonna be the first man to bring up LeBron James in the middle of a debate for just.
He's like, sir, he's a basketball player. What?
First of all, y'all know how I feel about that LeBron. Oh, he makes me so mad. Like, what? The question was about. The question was about healthcare.
Right. The question was about Gaza.
First of all, it's like Gaza and Israel's like me and LeBron James. We don't want to be in the same place at the same time, okay? Because he might think he wants some problems, but let me tell you this: you don't want no problems with me, LeBron. You don't know what I know, but I know you know what I know, and I do know.
That's hilarious.
All right, let's do something a little more fun, guys.
Oh boy,
okay?
Jordan is the GOAT. I don't like that comment. Good times over.
Yeah, he just that's what they do. Someone gets endorsed by LeBron. They finally get LeBron to go all full. Like Kamala comes out with LeBron at the debate, and just Stephen A. can't even focus for the rest of he spends the rest of the day trying to be like, well, LeBron, Jordan never lost in the finals.
What that got to do with anything?
We're talking about international trade. They should trade LeBron internationally to China. Oh, he's lost the plot. And then he wins because so many people are in the LeBron hate club. All right,
don't say that.
Listen, I've seen the
You
streets.
never know. You never know.
Shout out to Isaiah Thomas. He kept it real.
Yeah, he did.
Y'all done been indoctrinated. Y'all don't even know. All right, listen. Let's try not to get JL in too much trouble. So I'm gonna skip guess the race and do white people news.
Let's go.
I'm a bold candidate who is in the first.
You know what? Fuck it. We'll do guess the race. It's your candidacy, not mine. This time for it's the race. 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 A mom made a bomb threat against a high school over her daughter being barred from a school play.
Oh, is it that serious?
Listen,
I guess
okay.
it was gonna be the bomb.
She brought the drama to the drama club, if
Yes,
you know what
she
I'm saying,
did.
guys. I think we all do know. A 42-year-old mother in Michigan will be spending time behind bars for making a false bomb threat against a suburban Detroit high school because her daughter was barred from participating in the school play after being sick that day. So they had a valid reason.
Yeah, you can't make the other kids sick.
She is gonna be there coughing.
Right, throwing up or running fever and shit.
Romeo. Macomb County Circuit Court Judge Michael E. Servito last week ordered Crystal Royster to serve 2 weeks in the county jail following an additional 18 months of probation. Oh, followed by 18 months. Okay. It was handed down with a deal reached with prosecutors because she pleaded guilty to one felony count of making a false report, threat of a bomb. Does that make her a good mother or a bad mother? Because I feel like I could go either way. Like, she's so down for her kids. She's like, I will blow the school up. No, that makes her a bad mom.
Yeah,
Okay.
you gone too far. You got to show your kid limits. You got to show right and wrong.
That kid's going to be president. Okay. That kid's either going to president or jail. There's no
One
in
of the
between
two.
for that kid.
They gonna spy to be somebody.
Right.
Like,
That kid is going to be like Zoe Saldana break their record for the most Hollywood money.
Mommy. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were going with the Oscar speech. Mommy. It works both ways. It works both ways.
Police said that Royster called the school after being notified her daughter was not allowed to participate in the school play. The daughter could not participate per school policy due to being sick and going home early that day. Over 700 people were evacuated from the building. St. Clair Shores Police and other jurisdictions cleared the school, and no explosives were located. In addition to standard terms of probation, she must also notify the school before being present on school grounds and complete a Class A impulse control course. Didn't know we had that. So all right, guess the race of Crystal Royster. Karen?
I'm going white.
Karen's going white. JL?
White.
JL's going white. Let's check the chat room. See what they believe. Dance Mom's white. Dance Mom's.
That's hilarious.
White says Trey. Black says Marlene with some sort of like emoji. I don't know, like maybe she was thinking about it. Tracy Flick white mom white. Okay. The correct answer is white says Ty. Almost everyone went white. Mean Girls white. Only one person went black and everyone else got it wrong.
Man, I'll let you play it.
Wow.
And of course I have to give them the golf clap because only one person. Don't know how you got that, but that is correct. She is a black woman, as y'all can see.
The only reason why I didn't go black is because it was so lenient. It was
the sentencing.
Yes, it was like 2. I was like, this is some bullshit. Like, cool, now you threatened the school.
Now, of course, this is hindsight 2020, but also could have been a black school. So then the judge was lenient because they don't care about us, Karen. Man, that's
The
true.
name made me pause. That's a very good name. You know what I mean? That was a name. The only time I paused was the name. I said,
That's how it happens. But listen, we keep going. You can either be right or you can be racist. And so right now, I think you're still getting votes.
Yeah, I've been doing terrible this week.
A Virginia man will spend several decades behind bars for shooting and killing another man at a restaurant. In February 2025, Derek Lewis, 31, was found guilty by a jury of his peers on one count of murder in the second degree, use of a firearm in commission of a felony, shooting in commission of a felony, and maliciously discharging a firearm in an occupied dwelling.
Oh, all the charges.
Yeah, he was sentenced to 63 years in prison, with 8 of his years of the sentence being suspended. In total, he'll spend 55 years in prison for the fatal shooting of 28-year-old Tyler Johnson. The underlying incident occurred at the Iron and Ale.
the cremator. Sorry.
The underlying incident. Don't tap the ash. That was a deep cut. The underlying incident occurred at the Iron and Ale restaurant in Cornerstone Street in Lynchburg. On the night in question, Lewis shot Johnson because he thought the victim and the victim's mother were making fun of him. So now somebody got to die. The bottom line here is Tyler Johnson is dead. He absolutely should not be, said the assistant Commonwealth's attorney Diana Baker. She to the jurors right before the verdict was delivered. He knew exactly what he was doing. The defense, for their part, argued there was no malice behind the shooting because Johnson was aggressive and coming in hot towards Lewis, who was backing up at the time the gun was fired. The confrontation between the two men began after Lewis erased part of the specials chalkboard. So he goes into the restaurant. And he's like,
I took the time to write that. Yeah,
he wiped it off.
It takes a long time to do them goddamn boards.
Yeah, and so
you did all the specials for the day and got the discounts up there and shit.
Right. So then, describing the incident as self-defense, the since condemned man said Johnson angrily approached him and told him not to touch things that were not his. He then followed him into the bathroom to lodge a threat. After that, the defendant testified he walked over to Johnson and his mother to apologize before the woman said to let it go. As Lewis walked away, however, he said he heard laughter and mocking. So he offered a middle finger response, and then things escalated. "Oh, hell nah," Johnson allegedly said. "Do you have a problem?" Lewis said he answered in the negative, but the victim, apparently adamant on having a fight, said, "Well, you do now."
This wait. I gotta interrupt you because you are doing a great job with this reading because it went literally from menace to society, and then I'm like, oh no, now it's the West. It's like the Wild West. So I still can't decide.
It's a little tricks. It's a little sleight of hand here. I know what I'm doing. I can't give you guys too much of clues. Y'all read me thinking I'm reading the thing in the way of the race, but I'm not. I have to be very careful. The killer said to the victim again, closing in, and threatened, "Let's take this outside. I'll stab your bitch ass." Then, Lewis said, Johnson shoved him into a wall, held him in his grip, and left a bruise on his arm. After that, the bullet came, traveling through Johnson's heart and ending in his spine. Woo! As it turned out, Johnson was the restaurant owner's son. Lewis said he did not know that at the time of the incident, but in the end, the jury agreed with the state. After the shooting, Lewis left the restaurant, ran to his mother's home, some 2 miles away. Then he drove.
Didn't his mama go with you? So when she drove herself, are you running back?
No, he ran to his own mama's home.
How fast, Rod?
But the shooter, it just says 2 miles, doesn't say how quick he closed the distance.
Was it 20 minutes a mile?
Then he drove to Baltimore, Washington International Thurgood Marshall Airport in Maryland, bought a plane ticket bound for Cancun, Mexico, boarded his flight, and was arrested in Jacksonville, Florida during a layover.
You know you got to put your name on them tickets, right?
You got to take a direct. Okay.
Yeah, you should have took a direct.
If you're trying to escape justice, spring for the direct flight, my man.
Oh, for the non-layover. You went cheap and got caught.
He looked at the price and was like, I can't justify that.
I know I'm not doing a round trip, but damn, it's an extra $100. Sir, are you trying to get away or not?
Guess the race of Mr. Derek Lewis.
I think Derek Lewis is black.
Okay.
Because he didn't want to pay the fine.
Okay. JL?
Now, I'm going to go back to one of the first things you said in this that made me think black. Okay. Now, this reporter did a great job with a lot of detail, real narrative quality. But when they threw in the convicted by a jury of his peers, I don't know why that made me think, oh, this writer's like laying it on thick. Like, this is legitimate. This isn't racial. The jury
at all. There's no race involved.
He is. So I'm saying black because I felt like the journalist was like, "This is done by the book. No funny business."
2 blacks. Let's check the chat room. Insecure, dumbass, white, black, long sentence, and he didn't get a stand your ground break. Sounds very inwardly. A black MF 2 mile run. He's in good shape. Should have flown Spirit.
Oh no.
Well, the correct answer is most of you went black. White because Chevy Chase's real name is Cornelius. Okay, did not know that. Thank you. This is the white people news, but I'll try to remember that nugget next time. The correct answer is he was white. You both missed it.
He was white.
Yeah.
And got all them years.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you the picture. And of course, some of you got it right. 2 of you got it right. Congrats.
Well, I did like, and I guess
And
I
he
was
didn't want
wrong.
to
It's
pay
not
the
Menace to
fine.
Society, it's Boys in the Hood. But like when you went from "we got a problem here" to "you do now, buddy" or whatever, I was like, man, I don't understand.
That's hilarious.
I've been doing these a long time. It's always why I'll have a few rules, but I never try to lead the witness.
No.
And then the other rule is I can't manipulate the facts to try to win or trick y'all. So
Right.
when people are like, "Why'd you say the name?" It's like, because if I
have
start
to.
not saying the name, that becomes a tell when I choose not to say the name, man. We got out of the
Right.
game. All right. Bonus round. So far, you guys are 1-1 and 0-2. But don't worry, because this round is worth triple the points.
Okay.
Triple the points. Triple the points. Triple the points. Triple the points. Triple the raise. Triple the points. Triple the points. Triple the points. Triple the points. Triple the raise.
Felony charge for a TikTok challenge.
Oh no.
According to Florida police, Isaac Hurley was found hiding inside a closed Walmart Tuesday evening as he was live streaming his trespassing on TikTok.
A closed Walmart.
Yeah, I guess that's the challenge, is you sneak into the Walmart while it's closed. Officers were dispatched after a 911 caller said a male suspect was broadcasting from inside the Walmart for a 24-hour challenge. The man added that the caller was hiding in the dog bed section.
Somebody like, that's my local Walmart. Why are you fucking around in my local Walmart? And they was like, I know that section. That's aisle number 8. Go get them, y'all.
Yeah, and you're live broadcasting, so
they
they know exactly where you are when you're there.
Right.
It's not the smartest crime.
You said 24 hours. That's plenty of time for them to get there.
After being handcuffed and read his rights, Hurley advised that he believed he could earn money from TikTok views and decided to conduct a 24-hour challenge inside Walmart. A subsequent review of his TikTok located a video of him stating he intended to complete a 24-hour challenge inside Walmart and requesting likes and shares. Why didn't he go to a 24-hour Walmart?
That would have been better.
Do they not have those anymore?
They're few, they're rare, but
Okay.
I think they still exist.
Hurley entered the Walmart about 45 minutes before its 11 p.m. closing time. His planned 24-hour stay inside was cut short while some workers were still inside finishing their nightly duties. Yeah, because just because it says closed,
Yeah, people are still in there.
people have to do a bunch of shit before and after the building opens. Yeah, it was.
They're leaving 30 minutes, an hour after the store closed, right?
In addition to a felony burglary count, he was also charged with theft for allegedly taking a $16 iPhone charger from the Walmart. He was freed from the county jail Wednesday after posting a $1,500 bond, and the judges ordered him to have no contact with Walmart. That's a lot.
With Walmart?
In America, if you tell people you can't be within 100 yards of Walmart,
you
there's
in
only like
trouble.
2 places you can be. Hurley,
Everywhere.
Hurley, who yesterday pleaded not guilty to charges, told police he was kicked out of his family's home in Knoxville, Tennessee, and had only been in the Sunshine State for a week, though it seems like he'd already become a Florida man. Karen, guess the race of Mr. What is his name? Isaac Hurley.
Okay, Isaac Hurley I'm gonna go white, and if I'm wrong, I'm just terrible this week. My
All right.
radar's just off.
JL Covan.
I'm gonna go white as well. This just feels the dog beds, the copying that Channing Tatum movie that I want to see but haven't seen yet. Right? Like it just yeah.
All right.
Yeah, white.
Chat room says jackass white. I don't know, white, I guess. White. Mischief. The correct answer is, and everyone said the same thing. And everyone is correct. He was white.
Well, thank God. I'm about to say, am I still wrong? I need to get my racism to check then.
Yeah. Yeah, that's him there. Man, he's 18, man.
Yeah, bold enough to think you could do a TikTok challenge and tell everybody where you at.
That is such a young person stupid thing to do.
It's so stupid.
Like, well, I don't, but you know what? I'm out of connection with TikTok. I don't, JL, you've been on TikTok before. How do you get paid for doing that? Like, how does money come to you for that?
Oh, I signed up for the creator, I forget what it's called, but like I can't remember if it was just available or if they like once I hit a certain number of something, they like activated something. I can't remember if it was like I had to.
Yeah.
I think you maybe. Let me look right now. It's like TikTok creator thing, whatever it is.
And then and so like if you go live on TikTok, you can be like, hey, give me money as I'm doing this, and people will like put money on you live or something.
Well, the one I do, it's the Creator Rewards Program, which is basically just like my videos have ads. Like I don't even know where the ads go, just like little banner ads or something. So I get obviously when I get a video get like 200,000 views, that'll be like, oh, that'll be a couple $100.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's rare. Like usually those are like rare ones. Usually I'm like each month getting like $50, but it's like $50 passive. Just
right, yeah.
Chinese money paying off a congressman with $50 worth of TikTok ads.
And all you got to do is, go live in a Walmart, apparently, because you've been overdoing it as usual over there doing impressions and jokes and
working hard,
putting on makeup and all this shit,
thinking and shit.
Yeah, you could have just stood in a Walmart where you committing a crime and you would have been fine. All right, last thing.
You would have been smart enough to bring your charger.
Sword ratchetness. The Chelan County Sheriff's Office says a man armed with 2 samurai-style swords allegedly threatened a neighbor and broke into their trailer. 56-year-old Jose Franco Nunez, we're not guessing the race, was seen wielding the swords on a hillside while screaming and acting irrationally when deputies arrived. Nunez then reportedly ran down the hill and entered a neighbor's trailer, smashing multiple windows and making threats. Man, living in a trailer park sounds dangerous.
It does, don't it?
Like you just minding your business and your neighbor got 2 swords cracking your window to get in. That's crazy.
Right, and you're like, I just trying to mind my business.
Deputies moved the neighbor to safety while Nunez then went into his own residence, began smashing windows with a golf club. Yeah, because he don't care about his shit. Of course he's breaking your windows. The East Cascade SWAT team was called in as Nunez continued to make threats, saying he was going to blow up the deputies. The sheriff's office says he refused to cooperate, and authorities shot pepper balls, which caused him to surrender. Nunez was charged with burglary, assault, harassment with threats to kill, malicious mischief, and theft.
Pepper balls.
Yeah.
Is this outside of the states? Talking about some pepper balls.
No, it's in I think it's in America.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even know pepper balls was an option.
They're easy. The pepper balls are frangible, easily broken projectiles containing powdered chemical irritants like OC, Olorus, and
capsicum. To fuck with your sight and breathing and shit.
Yeah, so it's basically like gassing somebody, I guess, with pepper, like pepper spray, but in a gun format.
I bet you that shit hurt when it hit you.
I mean, he gave up immediately.
Right.
All his resolve that he thought he had.
Can't breathe.
He was like, come get me, cop. Ching, ching, pow, pow. Oh, I didn't know we was going to be doing pepper. That's crazy. Y'all.
Pepper was in the mix.
Yeah, the right to remain silent. I hear you. JL, the folks, man, tell them how to help and where to go and any other ask that you have.
Thank you very much. Yes, you go to jl4nj.com. Obviously, a lot of the listeners, if not all of them, know me, know who I am. But if you have friends in Jersey who might live in this area, that's what to share with them so that, hey, educate yourself. This is my guy. I think he'd be good here. I don't want people voting uninformed. But if you know anybody in NJ11, please spread the word. And if you got a few bucks, like I said, this is a great audience, a large audience. So if everybody were able to chip in 5, 10, 20 bucks, it'll get us where we planned on being. And the ads and the mailers are huge, and it's up to me to do the rest, which is win over all these fine people. And hopefully win over some of the not as diehards, but who kind of take notice of, maybe the kind of candidate they've been looking for. So
yeah,
I'm foolishly optimistic, just because I know what I'm up against, but I've also seen what I'm up against. So, so any support you can give, whether it's spreading the word or donating a few bucks. And if you've given, if you can give one more time, it's awesome. It's been a very dare I say fun, but also I've been very happy to get into. Yes, Cookie is barking. Sorry, I didn't realize that was picking her
All
up.
good.
But it's been a very overall just incredibly positive experience, kind of diving into this process for real, not just as a, I should do, but like, you know, and I'm hopeful. My future in politics is probably brighter than I thought it was, 6 months ago, but I'm focused on this, which is stupid because I'm a huge underdog, but it's like,
But
weird things can happen.
That's why you do it. You want to. I feel like
I'm not as big an underdog to the people who see me. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping the mail and the ads just trigger that interest.
I think also it's kind of like when you play a basketball game or something. You don't, like in the NCAA tournament or some shit, you don't walk on there and be like, oh, we're the 44th best team and we're playing against the third. You go out there and you're like, well, as long as we're on the court together, I'm trying to win. So like I think that's the perfect attitude. And you don't really consider like accept the idea of losing until that day comes to pass, and then you think about the next thing after that. So I feel like you just got a good mentality coming into this thing. So yeah, if you're listening, donate. If you see him sharing stuff on social media, hit that retweet button, hit that share button. Leave a message for your friends and family on Facebook or something. If you're in the district, spread the word, go vote. Very proud of what you're doing, man. And I hope it all works out for you, and yes. Always, you can always come back. We're always going to be a resource for you, bro. All right, y'all, until next time. Don't forget show notes, Pod Jam. We still doing that. April 9th through the 12th. I've reached out to the main person over it to see which day we're performing. It's probably Friday, it seems. But I will get 100% clarity for y'all, because a couple of y'all emailed me and I want to be sure y'all don't like get out there and then be like, y'all don't go on till Saturday or whatever, however it works. So I'll figure it out for you guys. And then show note, no show tomorrow, but for premium people, we're doing Balls Deep Sports with Justin. We have a basketball game Wednesday, so obviously no show Wednesday. And Friday we're doing the nerd off, so we will be doing our nerd thing on Friday. So premium people, enjoy that, and don't forget ad-free episodes are on the Patreon and on our website for premium folks now. So if you guys want to check that out, make sure you do. All right, until next time, I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah. Bye everybody. Bye JL.